Hello. Are we live? We might be live. Let's give it a sec. See if I can salvage trading view. I think I mixed up the stream keys. That's why I got so distracted. No, we're good in that sense. It was Wirecast was just mixed to crossing streams. Yeah. Yeah, give me a sec. What, me? Okay. I'm echoing. Shouldn't be echoing. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, welcome back. Let me know about the audio. I don't know what happened. This thing is like save, reload, fire, and today it was like. But are we good? Talking about I haven't weird temporal stuff.
Are we? I think we're echoing. Like, let me make sure that's not just me.
That might be
audio Gucci. I'm seeing from Gip Gop Goop.
Audio Gucci. Yeah, I think that's you somehow, Daniel. You might have it running on two different things, like on your Windows.
Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to look for it. Yeah. Okay.
This is officially our pre-stream now, guys. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna go live here. Reset. All right, guys. Now, game faces. We're here. All right, baby. Back to the good shit. Fired up. And Gunny is just actually coming in pixelated in honor of Avalanche Punks or whatever they're called. Hey, welcome back, guys. Welcome to DeltaFi Wednesdays. And this is August 25th. I'm your host, RT, Random Task. And on the left, we have Crypto Messiah, Banana Man, the Avalanche God. Should we say that yet? No, too soon. We have Gunny. We have Gunny, and we have Rob Levy, president of Hxro. Pixelated Gunny here in honor of the, what are they called? AVAX Punks, which I've been minting for the last hour because I'm addicted to gambling, and I like minting things. And I feel like, for two AVAX, I feel like I could probably sell them for 5 AVAX next week and then feel dumb when they go for 500 next year. Hope you guys are having a good time in the market right now. Bitcoin broke out today. All coins took a little bear market for about an hour and seem to be recovering nicely. And AVAX is getting even me to buy the top. So we're going to get into all that today and more. Just before I pass it off, which I usually do right here at the start, I got to say, I got to meet Gunny and Rob last weekend. That's where I was when all of this AVAX shit went bananas. And it was an absolute pleasure, guys. So it's nice to see you back here on the screen where I'm used to seeing you. How are you doing today?
Feeling good. Everything is...
It was amazing.
Yeah, great.
Doing good.
Great hanging. I'm curious. You say Bitcoin's breaking out. Where?
Quite the event. Quite the adventure.
Yeah, well, actually, I haven't looked in the last 45 minutes, so maybe it's retreated. But let me pull up the chart.
How short term are you working in the 5 minutes and 15 minutes right now?
No, check out this hourly, bro. Check out the hourly. Let me find.
Yeah, Bitcoin looks good.
Let me get the hourly because that's where breakouts typically start when you're in these shitty little consolidations. It's not a hard rule, but let's pull this over here. We'll just start on the charts. We usually like to have a little banter, but you've asked an important question. Let's check it out. Right here, lad. I just saw this today on the hourly. So, we're having this kind of slow grind higher into weekly resistance, reload zones, fib extensions, reload zones, fib extensions. And then today, you wake up, you're like, oh no, we're gonna dump, oh no. And then we just pushed up, broke through this trend line, retested, and started to go. So, in that sense, I do think we've quietly broken out on Bitcoin. At least,
yeah.
It's not your kind of breakout. You like to trade like 4 hours in dailies, right?
I don't know, but that to like say for me that sort of breakout is uneasy. That's like margin of error. It looks like, but
Oh yeah, it's not a big breakout. It's more like a we're not dead right now.
Yeah, no, it bounced back nicely. I think there's a lot of people who got bearish when it looked like we were losing it.
Yeah, this is not the chart that I had ready for the stream. So, but you rushed me into my hourly breakout trend line.
Shame on you.
Yeah, this is not. Look at that. That's just terrible. Let's get out of there. How are you doing, Gunny? Because I know exactly how Messiah's doing. I watched Shitcoin Church yesterday, so I'm gonna leave you for last. But if you guys haven't seen it and you want to be, heavily entertained and educated on AVAX, get that in you later today. Watch Shitcoin Church. How you doing, Gunny? Gunny needs medical attention right now.
I'm doing great.
Your video.
In a good, exciting day. I've just changed my hat twice.
You killed it though, man. You literally went from like.
Didn't you just get a new camera and shit too?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on over there, man?
I did. I don't get. This is like I got the top end shit, and it's like.
I think it's on the wrong. You might have a wrong input or something. It's something changed. But I'll tell you what, my thing's messed up too because I can't see your chart on my rendezvous screen.
What?
Oh, I can't see it there either. You can see it on YouTube though.
Colin,
Colin. Hey, that's not my name. It's RT. I'm anonymous.
That's great.
Doxed. Delete everything. You can't see it. I'm sending you the live feed in Rendezvous. Okay, so this is where we would usually disconnect everything and reset when we had a producer, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll just reset." Well, we're not doing that today because I'm the producer, and if we reset, we're going to be 10 minutes resetting the whole stream. So it's really frustrating that you guys can't see that though on the back end here, Rob, because now you have to wait 20 seconds to respond to all my chart commentary today.
It's all good.
This is what happens when RT goes to Chicago. Okay, Rob and Dan have kids. They are family men. I show up. I mean, I got a kid now, but he was, he's not with me. And I showed up. I'm just like, hey, drinks by the pool. It didn't. I mean, it aged really well for me. I think Gunny and I ended the night on a high. We were just the last men standing. But, I know, Rob, how you been doing this week? Are you on timeout or what's going on?
No, I'm good.
We had a little trouble by the pool on Saturday.
Yeah.
You
Are we
started
going to
snoozing.
talk about what we did Saturday night?
Yeah.
Or are we,
Yeah. Can we? I don't know.
No, we're not, of course.
Don't
All
do
right.
it.
So let's go back to AVAX, guys.
I want to, you know what? I just want to say, like, watching Messi's church yesterday, to talk about how proud that complete 180, like, that's the Messi that, I mean, my favorite guy right there. No one who captures excitement and bull markets like him. It was so good to see you in your stride.
I'm in the zone, man. When it's time to go, it's time to go fucking hard. It's all about realizing those opportunities and then basically going all fucking in.
Rob and I were sitting in the new Hero / Solana Labs office, and we pulled up Messi on the big screen, banana suit, fucking jamming out. The Solana devs were jamming out. It was fucking real, dude.
I was having a good time, but hey, I'm still representing here. Okay?
Yeah. No, I love it. Bottom line, what does that tell you? It's like bull markets are more fun than bear markets, man.
Yes. Confirmed.
I mean, Jesus.
Speaking of which, let's pull up, the elephant in the room here is AVAX. What the hell's going on with AVAX? Obviously today it's doing what things do after they pump, 200%. It's pulling back. It's on the hourly. If you stared at it all day today, you would say it's in a bear market. But really, this chart on the daily just looks insane. And so in that sense, I'd like to just kind of pull back a little bit and just look. I mean, AVAX pumped like crazy at the start of this year. It went from like $3 to whatever it was, 60 something bucks, and has done what charts do. They do mostly full retraces unless there's some insane fundamental like AVAX for now. 88.6, Dan's favorite level. and then just this blast of volume, like relative to anything else this year, is just ridiculous. So what is that? Is that just this liquidity incentives? Is that the 180 million, and this is it? And we're just gonna chill for a bit, and then it's
No, I mean, if you look, it's essentially the same chart as the other layer ones that have gone absolutely bad shit. It's the same chart as Solana. It's kind of the same chart as Luna.
Minus the volume. None of their volume looked like this. I checked today.
No, this is going to be up only. You know, the TLDR here is that some of the biggest money VCs in the space got an incredible deal on a very, very large chunk of AVAX, of locked AVAX. Okay, it's not like they just got a fucking discount and they can just rock and roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're actually seeing here is Ethereum is fucked, and a lot of people love the EVM experience, myself included. So Binance Smart Chain is also fucked. Binance Smart Chain has basically hit its limits. People are sketched out about Binance right now, you know, with all the new regulatory shit. You know, it's just not the place you want to be. So people, as always, you know, we want to find the best shitcoin casino, if you will. And it's what they did is, you know, I aped in hard when I saw. I wish I'd aped in harder, because I would just be sitting in cloud 9 right now. But I aped in plenty hard when I saw that they were launching the largest DeFi incentives program in history for $180 million to be of AVAX to be distributed over a matter of months, and also the fastest ecosystem growth in history. We saw the TVL on AVAX go from 200 million to almost 2.5 billion in 4 or 5 days. So when I saw that incentives program, you know, we'd seen what happened with the Binance incentives. We'd seen what happened with the Matic incentives, which neither of which were of this size. I knew that I was going to be front running billions of dollars of inflows, and that would probably be the easiest money I've ever made in my entire life, which is exactly why I decided to fucking hop on board and jam it. But what people don't realize is that DeFi incentives program hasn't even started yet. There's billions of dollars of inflows still coming in. I would imagine we end up somewhere at 10 billion plus TVL for this AVAX network. There's going to be a ton of fucking money coming over. There's like 10 good projects to buy right now. So all of the new money that comes in is forced to buy your bags. It's literally that fucking simple. We haven't even started the IDO game yet. We haven't even started the rotation game
Oh,
yet.
there's going to be hundreds of those. I'll tell you right now, there will be hundreds of new projects launched on the launch pads there. And in that vein, actually, one of the projects I did buy, despite the chart, you know, being a little higher than I like to buy things, is the Xava, like the launch pad, Avalanche. I love a good launch pad. And I don't know, you know, I don't know if this is the entry that I want, but it's the entry that I've got, and I'm in it. And coming, you know, from the VC space on the side, I'll tell you right now, the launch pads will come.
Yeah, launch pads fuck.
The
on all
IDOs.
of these things. Yeah, the launch pads fuck. People need the token to get access to these IDOs.
Yeah.
And everybody
they have to buy it, and they have to hold it. They have to
Dude,
hold it.
everybody's dying for some new shit to ape right now. You know, so these launchpad tokens are going to be fire. It's this, and then also Penguin Finance PFI. I believe are going to be the two major launchpads. And literally
PFI
every
launchpad?
single one of these IDOs, yeah.
I love that.
PFI launched what's it called, Sherpa, which is the Tornado Cash clone over here.
Yeah, and like, you know, look, guys, if you've been watching my streams for time, you know that this is not where, you know, I say like rush in here. It's at like resistance, like big resistance, and so you got to come in with that in mind. You got to come in with most charts, you know, things like in markets there is ebb and flow, and the most likely scenario as I see it is here, you know, like something like that at probably at best for this. Having said that, it's a little ridiculous. Does it just SR flip here and go? I don't know. So I did start picking some of these up today because of
halfway back first.
What's that?
What's like halfway back?
Yeah, halfway back would be like the 50%er. That would be right here. Ooh, that is not my template, but that's actually exact. Look at that. Come on, I got you halfway back there, Dan.
I will say
to the pip.
I will say this. Every single time, TA does not work in this climate. It just doesn't. The only thing that works is a guerrilla mindset. And the reason is because you're front running billions of dollars of inflows and there's 10 coins to buy. It's as simple as that. The thing is we don't even have the bridge to BSC, Binance Smart Chain, open yet. Nerve, which is a very popular project, is going to be launching their Synapse bridge this week for Binance Smart Chain. And all of those Binance Smart Chain guys are seeing what's happening over here. They love the EVM shitcoin casinos. They want to come in and get in on this action. So we haven't seen anything yet. I mean, shit is about to get fucking weird over here.
Beautiful. Well, that's basically the gist
do
of.
You see it as like, give me the messy overview of, because we talked about this a little bit earlier today. And I'm going to be the old boomer fucker here for a second, but like, do you see it as this is a purely opportunistic moment? It's going to go crazy. The AVAX network is going to get clogged with absolute trash, and then everyone will rotate out of it, and the thing will disappear.
No. I'm going to have a very, very difficult time going back to Ethereum DeFi after my AVAX experience.
Well, fuck Ethereum DeFi. Let's just talk about
even Ethereum DeFi, considering layer 2, Optimism, Arbitrum, et cetera, et cetera. The reason being is, like I said, I love the EVM shitcoin experience. I'm a boomer. That's what's familiar to me. I've been enjoying this experience for years and years and years and years and years. And this is a fantastic experience. You've got a network here that's providing that EVM casino experience that has the sub-second finality, 1 second block times. It's got the throughput of Solana, and the bridge is unlike anything I've ever seen before. The bridge here is absolutely fantastic. So it's just a great experience. And when you consider that, hey, well, you could have a similar experience on Arbitrum, right? Well, it doesn't fucking matter, because if I bridge funds over to AVAX, I can bridge them back almost instantaneously. With Arbitrum, if I bridge over to Arbitrum, Optimism, there's a long waiting period for me to bridge back. So it's very difficult for me to imagine that EVM, DeFi casino type antics take place on these chains. Also you have to consider that Aave and Curve are en route to the AVAX ecosystem. That is going to bring in additional billions of dollars of inflow, because money markets bring a shit ton of money over. It's literally as simple as that. So I'm really seeing AVAX right now as the hub for Ethereum DeFi. AVAX is the Ethereum layer 2, and as opposed to Binance Smart Chain, AVAX is decentralized as well. So you don't have that centralization, counterparty risk. Is CZ going to freeze my account? Is CZ going to take my money? That sort of thing. I got to tell you, my experience over here has been phenomenal. And in terms of farming, and in situations like this, we have auto compounders, which automatically and frequently take your yield and reinvest it back into your LP position. It's literally just the next wave of DeFi. It's DeFi 2.0. When Curve comes, if you build up a monster stable stack before that, with the amount of incentives that are going to rush in and be on that Curve platform, you can just drop your shit into stables, throw that LP position in an auto compounder. I bet you'll be making 100% APY on a fat fucking stack of stables, maybe more.
Speaking of CZ and centralization, did Binance not basically lock AVAX withdrawals this week? I noticed today that there was none.
Yep. Several exchanges did. There's a lot of conspiracy around that. CZ's mad, because they're taking market share from BSC. To be honest, I think the reality was that there was a network upgrade and exchanges went down for the network upgrade. Okay. But I did ask in the trading pit, and I've been told by people there that the Binance withdrawals are back up. But I think KuCoin or KuCoin or however you pronounce it, I still think those are.
I think it's pronounced KuCoin.
KuCoin. I don't know if KuCoin is allowing withdrawals. Binance is, though.
Okay, yeah. Xavier's confirmed withdrawals have resumed. So It always just looks fishy when things run really hot and then suddenly everyone's like, stop taking money out of the exchange. It's like, I just pictured Binance on the back end farming their own PNG and with everyone's funds, right? Like, but it's unlikely. They make so much doing what they're doing. I don't know. Who knows? But it sounds like they're up, so that's good. The bridge is actually easy to use, I got to say. Again, I'm always uncomfortable talking about things like this up here, because this is when you get frothy and bullish, and that's generally when it's very easy to buy things, and then you spend a few weeks watching other things go up while this just becomes a little boring piece of shit, and then suddenly you're just on the wrong side of two trades. But for what it's worth, I have moved some money over there. I have parked some of it, and I have some stables remaining to see if I can find dips. Perhaps more on the degen side, went a little heavy, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that ages. You guys can tell by the way that I am on stream over the next few weeks how that aged. Right now, Solana, and my first thought, and this is what I put in the newsletter yesterday before I watched all of Shitcoin Church, which is really what got me all fired up, was this, Solana Summer was just a week ago, and it broke out bigly on huge volume to new all-time highs, and it is now pulling back into sort of initial retracement levels. I know, AVAX is less than, yep, there goes the short-term dipperino, hopefully. So Solana hitting the 12 EMA today on the daily, which I know is a level that Rob and Dan, you guys like to trade these, or at least watch these moving averages.
Is that 12 and 26?
12 and 26, yeah. So is this a case of, look left, it's Solana Summer, you should have been maybe looking at the second L1s that might chase, and then now AVAX broke out. Do we look back at Solana and say, oh yeah, don't forget about that, guys, because it is in price discovery, right? And it is now cooled off a bit.
Look, I'm glad that we have Messi here to get after these things and really get ahead of these for community and listeners and followers and everything. And my whole life is just basically pretty much all in on Solana right now. And it's nothing against any other chain, obviously, but it's just where we're building right now. And I do think that it just has the substantive projects and people behind it to really build something that is going to be here on a generational basis. But It's not to say there isn't fucking amazing trading opportunities going on elsewhere. So
I mean, the difference, when you say Solana Summer right now, the only difference between AVAX and Solana right now is that AVAX has $180 million of DeFi incentives ongoing. It's going to be very, very, very difficult to outperform what's going on in AVAX right now until those incentives are up.
Yeah, it looks like we have shades of a daily engulfing. It's somebody pointed out in the chat. He says, "LOL, daily engulfing," and I'm not shocked by that, to be honest. I mean, look at this chart, right? And you mentioned things like vertical accumulation and more funds coming, and there's only so many things they can buy. But there is a lot of profit baked into this chart, and people will take that profit. People who bought up at the top will sell at a loss because of panic. So there's always going to be that ebb and flow. It's not unique to any one thing. It's humans. It's human behavior, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, look, I totally understand that. But as a counter to that point, I would imagine most of that volume is not retail. That's insane, ridiculous volume. I doubt those people were buying that for the 20-30% flip. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they were. But it is vertical accumulation. And this isn't the first day where we've seen anything pull back. All of the pullbacks look really fucking bad until the next day or the day after. And then it's like it never even fucking happened. That's what I mean by vertical accumulation. There is so much money coming into this ecosystem right now that every dip just gets fucking gobbled. And I would imagine it continues to be that way for a while.
It definitely it could. The one thing I can say about AVAX is its liquidity is not as thick as it would probably lead you to believe. So it's gonna, to me, like, things just can't go straight vertical. There's going to be some nasty dips.
Well, look at Luna though. Look at Solana. Like
and look at it. No, I know, and it is, they're illiquid. You're going to see some nasty candles here. Just if you're getting into these things and you're you don't have a
no, he's right. I mean, Solana like it 3x'd in 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We're buying $25 a few weeks ago.
Yeah. No, seriously. July 20th, $22. July 20th.
Volatility, fucking upside volatility is insane.
And that's that's a big part of why I like TA. A lot of people say TA doesn't work, and it doesn't have to work on a coin. You say, well, TA says it's this and it's going to do. Bottom line is TA just gives you a set of rules. You say, okay, maybe it's not going to. This is Solana. Maybe it's not going to pull back, but if it does, I've got an area where I like to get sort of bullish if things look outstanding. So going back over to AVAX, what does that look like if I want to play a little bit more conservatively here? Because I've already done my FOMO bag, right? I've already lined my pockets with a little bit of these just in case, just to ease that FOMO. What if it takes off? And now I can get frothy if we get into these lower 40s. But I would agree with you, Messiah, that I think this will probably flag out here. At the very least, this is not an area where I'm like, oh my God, I got to sell now because we've just had.
I think he's right on the money. I mean, I think it's like there's going to be some opportunities in this ecosystem for a while.
Yeah, like if you can zoom out for a couple of months and you've just got some bags and you don't look at the market all the time, then most things down in this range, I think, will age well. Obviously, the lower you're in it, they already have aged pretty well. But this is not volume that I see here. And it's like, oh no, we didn't make all-time highs. That's the end of it. Like, this to me is cooking up a breakout onto a price discovery level, and it's just a matter of how cheap can I get it, and how patient can I be.
I mean, the reality here is that you're never going to sell the top on anything, But in a mania, the way I see what's going on right now is honestly like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Where you have this level of mania, where you have 10 projects, where you have this much money coming in, it establishes precedent for some serious rotation and some serious compounding. You aren't going to be that guy though that just sells the top. So my idea is that these alternative, layer one manias typically last between 1 and 2 months. We're in week 1 of the AVAX mania right now. So I would imagine that maybe next week or the week after, the only way that you end up walking like a king is to begin dollar cost averaging out of your positions. And the thing is, if things are still going up as you are selling on the way up, you're still just making tons of money. But the idea here is that I'm not trying to time the top. I just know that I'm selling into a mania, and I'm gonna I'm gonna TWAP out over time into, I would say,
is
probably
everything
stable
catalyst driven? Like,
catalyst driven?
Is everything's just catalyst driven, right? Is that
what do you mean?
Like, okay, so they announced $180 million. They announced $180 million of incentives, and the market takes off, and then suddenly, like, it feeds on itself such.
Yeah. Well, look,
the technology in it is amazing.
I believe in, I know you guys laugh at me,
and then those incentives run out, or it bases out, or it gets.
I believe in the invisible hand. Okay. There's big money moving some of these shit coins on AVAX right now that you probably wouldn't necessarily think is there. Why though? The return on moving these shit coins as much as they've moved is enormous, because what do people want? They want big fucking green dildos. What is the best way to get as many new users in your ecosystem as possible, as fast as possible? It's to pump the absolute shit out of the shit coins. That's what people want. That's what people are going crazy for, and that's why people are coming over here. So is it incentive driven? I just think, what's going on right now is a byproduct of the incentives. You do have that liquidity migrating over, which is important for the larger players and those yield farming opportunities. But you also have straight up vertical, full retard shitcoin charts. And that's what's getting retail participants over here, because they want in on the action.
So badly that they've crashed ChartX Pro for like 3 days straight, apparently.
Yeah, none of my shit works right now on AVAX, and I've been told by somebody that's been here a very long time.
Hit and run, boys. I hope you guys all. I want you all to make fucking.
There's a set of validators that hasn't updated right now, and it's causing issues with the network. So the team is apparently debating, do we blacklist them? Do they get slashed? Et cetera, et cetera. But like my portfolio tracker apps aren't working, my charts aren't working. The network works right now, but none of the accessories that you need to be plugged in work, and they have it for like 30 minutes, and I don't know, it's been pretty painful not watching my insane yield roll in, but we'll get over it.
Yeah, as long as it's all operating, it should be fine. And I appreciate that, Dan. Hit and go as the comment, like, especially when you're playing. And this, I haven't done this in a long time, and it does feel different today as far as like my sort of patient, calm approach to the markets most of the time. Today, aping into some of these coins, it's like, oh, I'm going to go take an hour, like I'm going to go take a walk, and then you're just thinking about the market more. I don't know that I love that, but I'm here for it. The volume's high. I've got, Solana ecosystem bags. I've got AVAX ecosystem bags, and I am hunting for the next L1. Is it going to be Atom? Is it going to be Polkadot? Polkadot looks weak.
I'm thinking, potentially Phantom. Is in line for that. But here's the play, and this is the easy money play. And when I got into AVAX, like when you're early to something, when you're on a trend before other people are, you're always going to make way more money, way easier than you will in your entire life on anything else. That's how it was with DeFi Summer. I was very early to that, so it was very crazy for me, seeing all of those inflows coming in to buy the shit that I had. It was just straight up the easiest money I've ever made in my life. Same thing here. If Phantom announces an incentives program, they'd be insane to do it while AVAX is doing theirs. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to compete. But, let's say 4 weeks from now, Phantom's like, hey, we got $80 million of incentives, coming online. Like, I think it'd be very, very smart to bridge over there. But I will say, the one thing that people are saying is differentiating this moment from any other EVM shitcoin casino moment is the bridge is literally so fucking easy to use and so great. I've never, it just is awesome, and everybody that uses it thinks the same thing. So any other layer ones, take note. If you want new retail on your fucking platform, that bridge has got to be fire. I mean, absolute fire. The best bridge you've ever used. Period. And if it is, and you have those incentives rolling, the apes will come.
Yeah. Well, and the broader market just has to behave, which, as you can see, it is. It's almost like this circle was somehow sized accordingly. ETH seems to be using it as support right now. It was not. It's random. That's not TA, but we'll get rid of that. We've taken back. This is half the time. This is the interesting thing. So if you measure Ethereum's dip to the lows and then you cut it in half, the theory, Gann's whole 50-50 was that we would reach halfway back in half the time, and we are at that halftime. But we did reach this a little bit early this summer, back in early August. The market looks good.
Terra.
Yeah, market. Bottom line is the entire market looks really good. So I don't think there's too many wrong things you can be in right now, at least in the broader sort of higher cap. I mean, I say that and I instantly think of like 3 high cap, scammy shitcoins. But the bottom line is, if you're sitting in something that moved a little bit sideways or down the last few days, I wouldn't be too worried, personally.
Jeez. Yeah,
this is Luna, right into the 88.7 or 877
the thing
chaos.
about Luna and the thing about AVAX, like, you see the liquidity on, like, these things go vertical quickly. Like, that thing can move.
That's what I'm saying, man. This stuff is fucking, these are parabolas, like.
Yeah.
There's just
might
not
go
enough
higher, but it's
liquidity to be offered into the market there. It looks like. I mean, that looks like it's going to run again. Really. I mean, same with AVAX, obviously, but it's a crazy chart.
Yeah, Luna, when you draw these chaos pierces, they always look crazy at the time because it's usually on a dip and it's low and boring, but it's incredible how often they just come up and smack. We got a subtle reaction to the lower one, but this higher one is clearly playing a role here, and the fib extension of the whole first sort of early 2021 rally is quickly approaching at 36. But I mean, I had buddies that were in Luna that were getting out at 19 and 17 and 22, just saying it might go higher, but like we're in such profit right now, we're just going to get some, and then it just keeps going. It's incredible. So, what are the odds in your guys' mind that we see something similar to 2017, where the end of the year just gets ridiculous? Not necessarily to presume that the next year is a big bear market, but do you think we're heading into a Q4 just blow off in altcoins? Is that something you feel coming?
It's so hard. It's so hard to say. I mean, it very well could if the macro tailwinds continue kind of like this. Sure, there should be a whole lot of money flowing. But I've been hearing murmurs of like some people who follow it closely are expecting a Bitcoin ETF like in October, November. I do think that there could be overall tailwinds here that could, bring money flow.
Yeah, well,
Is
we
Messi
have.
going to fight Andre in October?
I heard that was off.
he's
What's the latest with that?
What'd you say?
I was joking. I said, are you fighting Andre in October or what?
No, I'm doing that.
That's off. I do know that in November we're scheduled to have the Taproot hard fork, which could be interesting. And one of the points I made in the newsletter yesterday was that Bitcoin dominance is coming into a key level, possibly the last chance it has to really act on this bullish market structure it put in, reversing the big downtrend in dominance. And sometimes you get that. You get the breakout, and then you sink into that local reload zone after the breakout, and then you get the continuation and say, how do we see that coming? This is standard TA. So right here, we're getting into a fairly critical area for Bitcoin dominance, because after the tag of this 20-week moving average like we had up here, you would expect to see fairly harsh continuation, which is what we've started to see. So the last stand in my mind for Bitcoin dominance is here. Otherwise, we could be headed into basically negative price discovery. And to that, I would think is going to be, if that happens, that'd be pretty face melting for altcoins. Kind of like what we saw in 2017 through May, a little bit in July. I don't know what that was. I think that was like an altcoin coming online, because I don't remember there being a big alt season in July. So whatever the hell this was, maybe just a lot of new shit getting added to the code here on dominance. But then this was obviously the big end of the year blow off. So do we get, we've already had one of those. Do we get one more to end the year and dominance hits 30, 27? Who knows? I think that would probably serve the most people. So let's hope that happens. You know what I did yesterday for the very first time? I listened to Bitcoin Maxis on a Twitter Spaces thing. It was weird. I hear about them. You hear about them being toxic, and you hear about them, like I've never chatted with them. I didn't chat with them, but like I listened to them talking, and each time one of them mentioned other coins, they had to do it with like a disclaimer, like, and the dirty word crypto, like it's like only Bitcoin. It was weird. It was like, this is a weird space. Have you guys experienced that, directly?
It's fewer and farther between. I mean, there's guys who literally just think Bitcoin is it, but I think that's a little kind of short-sighted. I know Bitcoin is amazing.
I mean, it's pretty fucking cool. Bitcoin's awesome, but
yeah,
it's like you've found this thing. You've spent your whole life in Bitcoin, hearing about boomers and whoever else calling it stupid, but then you turn into it yourself with every other coin. Like, it's weird. It's just like something's not right there. So, anyways, that happened to me yesterday.
It's a weird place. I think one of the things, along with AVAX, is the evolution in NFTs, and what's going on in NFTs in general right now is kind of blowing my mind. I mean, it's nutty.
Which part specifically? Is it the $5 million JPEG punks that are going off the market here?
I don't know. I think that there's that. There's what people kind of value. There's the idea of the attributes of these punks or apes, and like the distribution of attributes and what makes things rare. And I mean, it's really, God, it's a rabbit hole that I think runs super, super, super deep. And it's crazy.
The top might be in on those, and the reason I say that is because I finally completed my parallel alpha, whatever it is, 52 set special edition, and that I aped into the last bit, regrettably, because I had a chance to do it 3 other times, and I was like, oh, it's too expensive, and then I finally was like, fuck it, I need this galaxy key, and then as soon as I did that, I was like, okay, that's human emotion maxed out, like that's got to be near some kind of local top. We'll see.
Yeah.
The game looks good. The game looks dope. Parallel Alpha looks great. They're too illiquid. Like, you'll buy it for 10 Ethereum, and then the top bid is like 7. So you're instantly looking at a 30%. So, you buy something like that, and you're not, oops, and then flip it. Like, I'm in. It's a year, 2 years. I need them to be playing tournaments of that game in stadiums with 10,000 fans, 100,000 fans before I even think about flipping that set. So we'll see how that goes.
It's
got StarCraft vibes. It does. And StarCraft in Asia, they have literal stadiums filled with people watching the esports. So it's going to take some time to do that.
Yeah. No, I mean, the NFTs just reminds me of like my kids playing on the iPad and the stuff that they're doing, and I just feel like that stuff is only getting more and more popular, especially for the younger and kids, and that's what's gonna matter.
Yeah. Now,
is there something like kind of crypto native that's crossover, or is it going to be a like an Animoca or a or even
uh-oh. Did we lose Dan?
Should have bought that premium internet plan, bro.
Oh no, he's frozen in the funniest face always.
He bought the bargain internet.
I think yeah.
How is
Dan?
We're losing him.
He's just been talking to himself.
Take this guy out of here. Unfortunately, it looks like we may be losing Gunny, which it actually does feel bad because he's put a lot of time and effort into his setup lately. He, 1 week it wasn't great, and then the next week he had new audio, new video. Dan, we got to get you an internet upgrade, my friend, or you got to go tell the fam to get off YouTube's.
How about there are a lot of things that.
Dude, I have multiple internet connections in my house.
Oh no, he's back. Okay, no, we got you. It was just a blip.
But another thing, which
I'm
is
just
like
looking at myself on YouTube. I'm fucking dying.
An elephant in the room is like $75 billion Cardano network value.
The ever elephant, yeah. Is it 75 right now?
It's big, dude. It might be close to 80 billion. I mean,
holy shit! It's number 3 now. Jeez.
It's a big number, like really big number.
87.
I hope it's not one of those times where we're looking back and we're like, well, Cardano was 75 billion. These fucking punks are trading here. Like, how'd you not know? But
yeah,
I don't know. I keep seeing like prices everywhere in dollar terms are going up. Containers, shipping, supply chain shit, trillions of dollars of infrastructure. I don't know. Who knows anymore?
Yeah, I do get uncomfortable like that when you get into these local manias, which, compared to, let's look at the Fear and Greed Index, because like even just a month ago, right, it was dark. and it's kind of incredible how quickly it turned, almost too quick. And it is not about like, oh, we need a big bear market, but do we need to just cool it for a little bit? We were in extreme greed yesterday for the first time since May. Just boop, pulled into it, and then had a bit of a frumpy overnight, and now just into the greed. So at the very least, I think before we go like uber rip roaring bull into the 90s again, we'd probably want to see neutral and just have that little pause where everyone reflects on buying the local top that they swore they would never do again. So we'll see what that looks like on the charts. It could look as simple as just a boring September. What are you guys' thoughts on September? We are getting up near the top of the hour. We have made a commitment to the community to keep these closer to an hour, as I think they are just more digestible. But real quick, what are you guys' thoughts on September as an outlook? Do you pay attention to sort of year-over-year months? I know that's kind of a whatever you used to trade. What are those things? They start with a C. Commodities. The corn, the wheat, the soy. They're kind of seasonal. We got Gunny. Yes. All right. I think we need a new Gunny. I'm going to insert him here. Oh.
I think seasonality stuff, it maybe carries a little heavier weight, but things are going to do what they're going to do. So it doesn't all happen in the same fashion every single time. So September doesn't have to be bad. It can be all right. I don't know if it's 50-50 or what. We've gone on a good run here, though. Like, we've gone on a very good run. I don't think anyone needs to panic if we pull back or pull off.
Well, and that's coming back to the value of taking profits, even if things look incredibly bullish and you're thinking, this is Q4, we're going to go melt some faces. If you just pay yourself a little bit, if you made some money through this, and that's not me telling you to do it. I mean, this is just me talking about how I do things. Then you've already won. And then any kind of dips are a gift. And if it keeps going, well, I've still got positions, right? So some of that partial in and out, because when you get these dips, it's incredible how often you start to rethink things here. So just say, and could be any chart, but this is Solana. Just say you bought some things through here. You get up into here, you don't sell anything. It's usually right around this part of the dip that you start to think, well, I'm losing profit quickly, but I'm still in profit. And then you sell the dip. And I say that because I've done it. And if you just act on emotion, you don't have a plan, this is the area where so many people do that. And that's almost why it marks the pump chaser zone. It's because that's where the end comes in. That's where that selling occurs. And people like myself have just learned to step in and buy things there in hot markets. So just food for thought. Like Rob says, like if we pull back a bit, it shouldn't be a big deal. Well, if you started to buy up in the highs, or if you never paid yourself, it can feel like a big deal. So come in with a plan.
No dip, up only.
That's how I would like it to be, since I did pay myself a lot last week, and then I spent most of this weekend, last weekend, just. I mean, look,
the way I see it, because I was like kind of in that sidelined state for a bit. That's a very, very painful state to be in. There's still a lot more people and a lot more money than you realize. That's in that state. Everybody would love that dip, wouldn't they? But sometimes max pain is just up only. And you know what? The stock market's doing it. Why not us? I just don't. I don't see why we wouldn't. Crypto's super hot, like Rob said. Maybe we have some ETFs and some hype coming. We got this Taproot upgrade, which is not like a normie public thing, but to the insiders, like they know. But I really don't think this has to go down right here. The market doesn't look that overheated to me. As far as I can see, funding has been relatively good looking. Like, I think everything looks fine. But the thing is we have gone up so much that everybody's got in that PTSD mindset now.
Yeah.
Of, it's got to dip, it's got to dip, it's got to dip. Especially those people that are trapped in shorts still. Even if you're on low leverage shorts and you've been trapped in them from the bottom and you've been waiting at that dip to get out, because I was in that position for a while, right? It sucks. Like, you don't. Why are they going to let those people escape? With their lives. Like, there's a lot of anxiety right now, over this dip because just so many people are sidelined. Just why do we have to do it? And look right now. I mean, fuck, Ethereum's bouncing, Bitcoin's bouncing.
Yeah, Bitcoin looks strong. None of this stuff in my mind. I think some of the maybe like the L1s that just exploded is what I'm looking at. Again, if anything, like in a copy way, like, I'd like to buy more and I'd like to get it cheaper. But Ethereum and Bitcoin, they look strong, right? The daily is just riding this 12 EMA up. They're going to have their dark moments.
Oh,
what happened?
What a fucktard.
We got a troll in the chat.
I'm ready for him.
Oh, man.
Tough guy.
Oh, I saw him talking earlier.
Can we
was he here before?
Dude, I swear I don't even care at this point because I can't hear Colin for some strange reason. It's so jacked. Like,
I think it's because your typing was like so loud.
By the way, I'm here. I'm just the goon right now. Is gonna stand in front of the net, and make sure the goalie doesn't get touched. So.
Can you hear me now? The stream can hear me. Okay.
We can all hear you.
Just know, everybody, there is no second dip. There is none. There is no second dip.
Oh, Balapor sounds lonely. He came here to talk about how he doesn't like being here. That's loneliness. I feel bad for him.
He likes being here.
Now I want to go read all his comments, see if we can connect on a human level.
Yeah. Who's claiming to be experts? We're here to talk smack.
We have backwards hats on, guys. That is the epitome of an expert.
Yes.
That's why we came dressed to impress. Mike Kirkland would like a Hxro Labs hat. Can we hook him up? Are we doing swag soon? Swag giveaways? We should.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, now I'm reading Dan's comments. I get why we're laughing. I was on a big rant and then everyone's laughing. I was like, shit. Can you not? I muted you, but I unmuted you because you're... No, don't do it. Don't.
No.
Oh, well. It's sweet, though. Our old producer used to love when we had haters come in the chat. He's like, don't ban them. This is us. We made it. This is what we wanted. So that's cool.
If you are here, smash that like button. We're getting some good algo action lately on these these streams, so keep it up.
And we might get some swag bags out there. That's something I've been pushing for.
Speaking of algo, does anyone know anything about algo? I keep getting asked by Wall Street guys who are coming in, like in New York, and algo is one that's getting pushed. I don't know if it's like one little group that's behind it or whatever, but all like the traditional finance Wall Street guys, multiples of them have asked me about algo and say that.
You know who else liked algo was the guy at TradingView, Pierce, who came in, Pierce Crosby. He was on the show earlier this year, and he said, one of his... What's up?
He's in New York, I believe.
Exactly. That's why I was thinking. I was like, man, it's that crowd, I guess. I don't know if it's on here, but if it is, we could take a look at algo. Look at this. This is like where I but like made the Chaos PRZ video. Algo has been respecting it on the Bitcoin pair. You grab this consolidation, just smacked right into it. Grab this one, smacked into it. Cross through, smack the next one, smacked into it. So it's taken its sweet time, but do we get another Chaos level sometime in the near future? I don't know. I'll tell you what we did get, it looks like. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. It looks like we just got some really interesting breakout volume after sort of a pullback into the reload zone, and then just a nice little breakout retest.
I mean, bears are fucked.
Wow.
Like, they just are. I mean, look at all of these charts. Like, it just is what it is, the writings on the wall. Bears are fucked.
They're in trouble.
I've never been more certain about anything in my life. I seen the light. You just can't fight it. There's so much money hitting crypto in general. The stock market is going full retard right now. You can't fight it. It's up only until it's not, but it's up only for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that vibe as well. Which is why, I'm mostly in deploy mode right now. I am trying to be responsible and get in at levels. And there are some look, I don't have much Bitcoin right now, but if I did, Algo BTC looks like it's at a level.
I was thinking, RT, with the timing of this AVAX season,
Really nice
it
level.
may, if everything continues to look nice, assuming Bitcoin isn't at 100K in 3 weeks, that might present some really interesting opportunities to start averaging out into Bitcoin over the next 3-4 weeks. It could present a great compound. I mean, my thought was this was that if Bitcoin still looked reasonable, looked like it was consolidating, if it's not full retard by then it's a fantastic compounding opportunity to bang out that final 2x, 50%, whatever on, and then, move to safer, greener pastures.
Bitcoin, that is.
Yes.
Yeah, the rotation will probably come, and it's funny because it tends to come at the moment when you've almost written it off, right? Which I think we're almost close to. Like, it's just casually been so boring now. Obviously, off the lows, the big altcoins have been outperforming, and at the most inopportune time, as it would feel, is usually when the rotation should happen. I distinctly recall the main pivots in Bitcoin dominance, and it's always just absurd to think the other way. I'll give you the example right here. Right up here, December 28th, going into the new year, this was such hopium to suggest that this would be the high on Bitcoin dominance. It felt stupid. Altcoins versus Bitcoin were getting trashed, and it was almost like not even cool to be like, hey guys, I think this is the top for. It's like, oh, shut up, man, you're such a hopium, and we're almost at this point, and that might be this green box. And so it's like, how much, and the green box could be down here, could be up here, but it could be this last test of these lows, and then we get that rotation into Bitcoin, which ultimately is good news, because that's where the liquidity cycles start. I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting for Bitcoin to go nuts and steal dominance, and we can reset the whole goddamn market. And but right now there's just so much buy volume flowing into altcoins that it seems. It's either pure psyops and it's just all bullshit, or alts are about to go for their next leg. So generally follow the volume. And then, like Rob likes to talk about this a lot too, is the Bitcoin pair just out of date? Is the USDC pair or the USD pair liquidity just changing the game now, where it doesn't have to be, pure yo-yo between Bitcoin and altcoins?
I think it's becoming less of a factor, but there's still times, and it's probably more in the market making side of things, where people need to raise Bitcoin. If they're making markets and Bitcoin's mooning, then they might move some of their alts into Bitcoin in that cross, rather than kind of the USD or stablecoin crosses that are more heavily traded these days. But I don't know. I think it's becoming less of a factor. I think that's pretty clear. But you never know. I mean, like someone said in the chat, 3 arrows. There's been a couple of outspoken Twitter characters who believe that Bitcoin's gonna kind of gain some dominance here in a stretch. I don't know if they're just early on it and thinking that we'll see a rip there and price discovery and alts getting slammed in Bitcoin terms, but there's definitely
in Bitcoin terms.
Yeah, it's a theme.
I do think that we will be, even if Bitcoin does that, we'll be up in USD, which is kind of a cope in itself. But being up in USD is just fine. You can't always have your bet on the winning horse.
Yeah.
It gets painful though, right? And I think that's risky thinking, and that's what I did a lot of, where you're like, oh yeah, but I'm up in USD, and then it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it'll usually go to that, that fail point where Dan's back with the keyboard warriors return. I love it. But you start off the Bitcoin dominance run thinking like, oh yeah, but I'm up in USD, and then it gets so absurd that you're not as much up in USD. Like it kind of separates eventually, as moves do. They end in parabolic kind of moves. And then by the end, you're like, holy shit, I just went from like 2 Bitcoin down to 0.79 Bitcoin. And that up in USD just starts to feel bad. But yeah, I'm with you. But I'm going to rotate if I see the writing on the wall here. But I think we got a few weeks. There's just too much volume coming into these altcoins to think that that's the end of something. But we'll see. Maybe it is. Oh, maybe it is. We're going to look back and be like, no, RT, that was the exact moment that you should have rotated. We're going to find out here in a few weeks. I have low expectations for September, to be completely honest. Historically, I've just always been disappointed by September. I was a teacher for years. It was back to school, and I would always go and be like, aha, like we're on the moon. And then this school year would start, and everything would just dump. So I'm a little scarred by Septembers. But let's see if we can get through it, because Q4s, on the other hand, have always been fun. Except for October 2018, when Bitcoin broke 6K. I will never forget that month because I had a lot of Bitcoin, percentage-wise.
Yeah.
And I thought I was safe because I'm an altcoin trader. So I was like, I'm going to go safe. I'm just going to sit in Bitcoin. Well, it didn't work out.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, there were some last December. I remember altcoins were getting shit on. Bitcoin started to run, and altcoins you really felt bad. I remember in AVAX pretty deep, and that thing was like $3 seller, and just was sitting there, and Bitcoin started ripping. That didn't feel great. So
yeah,
those are times that really stand out in your mind. So,
well, this is really what got me into trading. Was the idea of rotation, right? You can sit through any coin, and if you end up picking the right one and it does really well, great. But there are so many swings in this market, and they seem to last forever. And I learned, I'd rather not be the market's bitch. I'd rather be able to make plays and stay nimble and run with the heat.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy Dan one of those sneaky keyboards.
I love it. Daniel, one name from the AVAX ecosystem. What are you looking at? Is that dog shit really running, or you got some?
Yeah. Well, look, people thought it was a joke, but the reality is, from observing every single Layer 1 launch that's EVM, is that there is a dog coin that runs very, very fucking hard. Every single one. So, I've always tried to base, my investment thesis on fundamentals, and on something that, that it just makes more sense. I enjoy it more. It's just more, in my lane. But I was just thinking about this. Hey, what if you could get in on the best dog coin before the retail horde does? I mean, the expected value of that is just absurd. I mean, the risk reward is fucking crazy. So, I found a dog coin that's ShibX. The team is fully doxed, like a team of 7 engineers, serious dudes, fully doxed. They're also the Baguette Exchange team. They have burned the liquidity tokens. They have renounced the contract ownership, so there's no rug risk. It is a fair, open market dog coin hyper Ponzi. And the interesting thing about it is it's a reflect token. So 10% of every transaction that happens, that's every trade, ends up being redistributed to everybody that continues holding. It's streaming rewards. You don't even have to stake it. So the Ponzi is this redistribution mechanism that constantly moves these coins from, people who are trading, who are transacting, to the people that believe in it, that are holding, which is really interesting. Now, the devs have also sent a large chunk to a burn address, which serves as a burn mechanism for the entire scheme, because all of these tokens, this 10% tax, are continuously being sent to this burn address. So I was thinking about this, and I actually added a lot of liquidity on ShibX on multiple exchanges. And here's why. A, because it's the best dog coin. And B, because the way to maximize your yield on this dog coin is to create as much transactional activity and volume as possible. So when I set up fat liquidity on Trader Joe and Pangolin, what I did was create a three-way arbitrage on the dog coin, which pushed our yield through the fucking roof. You know, it really boosted that redistribution mechanism. So yeah, I'm really excited about ShibX, just in the sense that it is the one of the only dog coins that it's been around for like 3 months, so it has a fair distribution. They distributed it to a lot of Avalanche validators and participants and people like that. You know, there's not one whale that owns like 50% of the supply. The team is doxed. It's not a fucking rug. And guess what? These apes are going to buy the dog coin. So that's where I am.
Interesting. We had a question about what do we think of Sushi's NFT platform? I think Sushi's got a talented team. They've got a really dedicated, network of participants and supporters. NFTs are hot. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do that's any different, but I think that there's transaction volume taking place. I think that NFTs are printing, so who knows if that's gonna continue, but it's good to see them getting into it.
Like anything, it should ebb and flow. Highs, lows, tops in, bottoms in. I'd be impressed if it just kind of goes as it's been going indefinitely. So I guess it's possible. I've just never seen it with anything in a market before. We tend to just overbuy and then undersell, right? So, but I like Sushi. Sushi's had a nice cool down actually. So we'll pull up the charts on Sushi on Hero Labs Live on Friday, which is going to be on at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Messi, did I hear rumors that you're going live tomorrow on Shitcoin Church?
No, we're not doing that. I am going to stream tomorrow with Luke Martin, who kind of reminiscent of. I remember when DeFi was just kicking off on Ethereum, and I went on Luke's stream to explain what all the hype was about. But really, the three first guys that were on AVAX were myself, Wayne Garion from Twitter, who works with Defiance, and then Darren Lau. He's a lot of fun too. He's former Spartan Group, and we came together and we were talking about it, and we used it, and we were just like, "Holy fuck, we're aping in this shit hard! Like, let's fucking go!" So we're gonna be on Luke's show tomorrow. But it's not a live stream, so don't think you have to be there for it. Luke has like a lot of production. It's going to be really good quality. But
yeah, he does a lot of post work, right? So
yes,
hopefully,
I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a riot.
Beautiful. Okay, so you guys can catch the replay or perhaps the final production of that sometime in the near future. Otherwise, I'll be back on Friday as usual, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And keep an eye out.
Check out RT. I think you'll like his content as well. It's a different flavor from mine, but it's still a good flavor.
I mean, I don't have an ape suit, and
maybe you need to get one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Pangolin goes to $10 plus. I will. You know what? There it is. If PNG goes to 10 plus, I will buy an ape suit and we can hang out on the stream together. Okay.
You guys heard it.
You heard it here first. Yeah. I'm gonna go shop for one of those because I think that's happening before Christmas.
It's on there. You know what? Maybe you can wear the ape suit and I'll be the banana, or vice versa. We can do either way.
Yeah. Well, I did actually go out for Halloween when I was 17 as a gorilla, so I know where to get them. They're in the neighborhood. I rented it though, so I gotta go buy one now. Anyways, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the show. Keep an eye out on the socials this week. We are, I hinted last week about hiring an intern. We are heating that up this week. So we have a graphic put together. We're getting it on socials in the very near future once we have proper actionables in place for you guys. And looking forward to seeing you guys all next week. So have a wonderful weekend. And I guess whatever you do from now until next time, always play from a position of strength. Take care.
You guys.
You got a new keyboard this week.